Young renters, young renters, young renters. This is what happened starting yesterday. Let me start at the beginning. I get an email from HireCar that one of my cars has mechanical issues, okay? And then I get a phone call from HireCar. Actually, I get several phone calls from HireCar. And apparently the car supposedly, I'm saying supposedly it broke down. Supposedly it broke down. And she said it was something. And I heard from HireCar before I heard from the renter. Now, I've been doing this 4 months. Today is the end of my 4th month. And pretty much when the car breaks down, the first person they contact is me. So that was odd. So I'm like, okay, that's terrible. Where's the car? I'll send the tow truck out. I arrange for a tow truck to go out. And I tell her, leave the key under the passenger seat. And she said, okay. So the tow truck comes. I have to talk to him. He finds the car and he says, there's no key. And I'm like, what do you mean there's no key? She was supposed to leave the key under the seat. So I contact her. She says she's jumping out the shower and she will meet the tow truck driver. So the tow truck driver patiently was there like 30 minutes, which is a long time. And he's like, she didn't show up. No key, she didn't show up. And they couldn't tow the car because the way the car is parked, because I got up at 6:30 this morning, went out there to look at the car, and it's pulled in. And they cannot tow the cars he had a flatbed tow truck. The way this car has to be towed is they're going to need one of those little record trucks that lifts up the end and the little dollies that go under the wheels. That's what's got to tow this car, because I feel that she has lost the key. And that's why she wasn't available when the tow truck driver showed up. Now, she has called HireCar 12 to 15 times about this refund. And this is where something else. There's a guy, once again, I rented it to the girl. It was her account. It was her driver's license. I am sure it was her. There's this guy who just kept calling me over and over and over again. Hey, can I come pick up the car? And I'm like, I already talked to the girl. I was like, you can pick up the car such and such time. So I just ignored it. So he keeps calling and keeps calling. It's a him. I know it's a him. So I keep ignoring it. Then after the tow truck leaves, they go on the internet and find a video of a tow truck and send this to HireCar and say there was a tow truck. And this is one of the phone calls I got. They said that the tow truck came and took the car. And I'm like, I got GPS on this car, so I know exactly where it is. And I'm like, no tow truck came and got it. The car is still sitting where it has been sitting. And then we go back and forth and they keep calling HireCar, keep calling HireCar, keep calling HireCar. I actually blocked 2 of the numbers that the dude was calling me, because this will go into the second story. What I have learned with this demographic is they don't like to leave messages. When they want something, they will call, 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 they will call. And he kept calling me and I just blocked his number. Fortunately, I was using a Google Voice number. So I blocked his number twice because he called me from 2 different numbers. And I have yet to hear from her. I've not heard nothing from her. I have called her 15 times, nothing. So my assertion is she has lost the key. And that's why she didn't show up when there was a tow drop. Because all right, you guys know me. If there was something wrong with the car, I would have ended the rental and I would have refunded her money. And I would have been like, look, I'll give you a free day if you want to rent from me in the future. This is what I do. But see, I learned some stuff. She still has possession of that car. So I ain't ending the rental. I'm not ending the rental because I got to pay for a new key. I already know this. I already talked to my key guy. He can do a new key. So once I get the car towed, and this is the thing. If you're in Atlanta, you already know this. It was a rainy day in Atlanta. Tow truck, when I was heading back, I saw 5 wrecks. So tow trucks were really busy, and I couldn't get one today. I just couldn't get one. They were like, man, the one lady's like, sweetheart, we're looking at, 8, 9, maybe 12 hours before we even get into you. You can call back and try again later. So I called back, and the guy answers, and he said, we don't even service that area. So tomorrow, I got to find a tow truck company in Decatur to move this car with the dolly. I already know how it has to move, and I already know how to explain it because I've talked to so many tow truck drivers. I already know how to explain this. And I may have to be out there because it's like, well, you got to be out there to prove ownership of the car. And I'm just sitting here like, young renters, man. This is the 5th time this has happened that I had someone 21 that did something immediately to the car. First time, the chick blew out the tires. Second time, guy blew out the tires. Third time, it was tires. This time it's a little different. She lost the key. And I'm just sitting here like, I'm probably not going to rent to anyone that's 21 or, because it's always problems. It's always problems because one, they don't want to be accountable because she's trying to get a refund. Now, here's the thing. I know her car policy. She still has possession of my car. I don't have my car back. So there will not be any refund. And I can stand on solid ground that I'm not going to tow that car tomorrow until her time runs out. So I'm not going to have to refund her money because this bitch lost my key. And I'm just sitting there like, how do you lose a key? But she lost it. And that's why she did not show up for the tow truck driver, got ghosted, completely disappeared. And this dude, he is one of those finesse dudes. I can already tell because I heard him. And he called me and he was trying to talk. And I just said, fuck you. And hung up the phone. My assistant was like, woo. And I was like, and I blocked his number. I'm like, I'm not talking to you. I didn't rent a car to you. I don't even know where you come into this. So he's gone. And they, like I said, they call her car 12, 15 times today. And I explained to her, even if she was going to get a refund, but she ain't, it's going to take 2 to 3 weeks to get the refund. Which now brings me to the second story. And remember what I told you about the calling over and over and over, never leave a message, never send a text. This dude, he rented the blue 330 2 weeks ago. And he was doing that same thing. And like, I really don't respond well to when you call me back to back, like, Johnny, you need to jump because I'm calling you. And I don't respond to that. So I let it, let him, he rented it and everything. Then yesterday he calls me and he's like, the tire has a slow leak. And I said, you run over something and you've got to fix that tire because they always want to like come to me. It's like, hey, fix this tire. And I'm like, no, you ran over some. You need to fix the tire. So I checked the car, he brings the car back. Now he says, I'm going to bring the car back tomorrow. And I asked him what time. He said, I don't know. That was the end of the conversation. So I'm on my way to get me some chili dogs, right? And he calls, I'm 15 minutes away. I'm like, I ain't there and I'm not going to be there for an hour. I'll just leave the car by the blue Porsche and leave the keys under the seat and I'll check it out when I get back. So I'm eating my hot dogs. My hot dogs were good. They were good. I love my hot dogs. Chili cheeseburger. So I'm on the way back and I get a call from her car. And it's like, hi, we got such and such on the line. He's concerned about being charged for late payment, for late delivery. And I was like, he ain't late. See, that's the whole thing about it. The dude got really, he got angry. And he was like, look, And we were having a yelling match. I was like, look, dude, you said you were going to show up sometime today. I don't have all day to just sit around and wait till you show up. If you had given me a definitive time, I would have met you. That's how I operate. And we had a little shouting match. And he was like, trying to get money out of people. I ain't going to never rent from you. And I'm like, bruh, the minute you start acting like a little bitch, I was like, I'm never renting to this little punk ass bitch again. So we're in the same space, homie. I said this with the hire car reps on there, right? So he gets mad and he hangs up, and he's like, if I get charged, I'm taking the car. I'm like, I was going to turn the car off on him just to be petty. Petty Glendon was coming out. I was going like, oh, really? You don't know I can turn that car off. I'm going to turn that car off on you. So I get back to the office and the car is there. And I check him out, and with hire car, you have returning the car, which is about an hour, and they give you 2 hours before they charge you for a third day. So he was still in the returning the car phase. He didn't have nothing to worry about. And Petty Glendon almost dinged him with the gas because he didn't fill it completely up. It was like I had to put $25 in there, but he rented the car and I made like $800 off of him. So $25. I'm like, just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. So I checked it out. I then filed a claim, lock up his account, being petty. Because, I'm on the basic plan. So I would have got like maybe $15. So I was like, let it go. But this dude thought he was going to be late. And this kind of brings me back to poor people don't value time. I have seen this over and over and over again, that folks will just show up and expect me to be there. And I'll be telling folks like, all right, when you bring the car back, don't just show up because I have other businesses, so I may not be here. And, it was just funny. We got in a shouting match because dude thought he was going to get charged when he was nowhere near the danger zone. And I looked in the app and I saw he was returning, so I was like, dude, why are you tripping? And maybe he looked in the app and saw he was still returning the car and he wasn't late and he just cooled out, and I don't know what he did. But once again, he's young. He's 24 years old. And I'm getting very, I'm getting ready to put some standards in place. Like if you're young, you need to do a 5 or 7 day rental. I think that's going to knock most of them out the park because most of them don't have no money. And like I remember, 22-year-old girl, she rented the Porsche. She brought it back intact. She brought it back full of gas. And I hate to be that way, but the 2 experiences I've had yesterday and throughout the day and the day, I'm just sitting there like, because they love these BMWs. They love them. They love them. They love them. And I'm getting ready to take them away from them because it's just too many hassles. Because this girl literally, her car called me 8 times today because she kept calling. I'm just sitting there like, and every time they sent me an email, I was like, I sent a tow truck and she did not meet the tow truck driver with the key. I asked her to leave the key in the car. She refused to leave the key in the car because she lost it. And I'm not approving no refund because I got to buy a key. See, I'm getting smarter because essentially what I should have done with the girl who flattened the tires, I should have kept her rental active. And, at least 3 or 4 days just to defray some of the cost of, because I remember I tried to put her in the Camry. And I actually transferred from the BMW to the Camry and sent her a message that she owed me $900. And I would take $100 a week until she worked it off, and then she just disappeared and stopped communicating. So that's kind of where I'm at. Not like I said, the drama has pretty much ended. Now I have one potential situation with one car that doesn't have a GPS kill switch on it. That's brewing. I don't know because because essentially this dude, I would say, hey, just, either pay up or bring the car back. And he ignores me, and I also think he lost the key. So tomorrow I'm going to write a demand letter. He's only 6 days. So we'll be like 2 weeks and just messing up my metrics because of him and another chick is the reason I hit 21,300. If those two had paid, I would have hit 22,000. So they messed up my metrics. But by the end of September, because I'm having the Acura that homeboy left on the side of the road, they busted the window, he busted the windshield. I'm having that fixed. And once I get that fixed, GPS kill switch, I got another Acura back. It's at the GPS kill switch place today, along with the Lexus. So slowly but surely, I'm gonna have all of my cars with the GPS kill switch because except for the Camry and the Acura, the 2005 Acura TL, I'm not gonna, because I don't have no issues. When they're tired of them, they just bring them back. But one of the reasons I say all of my cars are gonna have GPS kill switches, I'm not gonna buy anything going forward that I don't wanna put a GPS kill switch on. I've learned my lesson. The so-called day that I bought 5 cars for $40,000, 2 of those cars are wrecked. 1 of those cars went to the salvage yard. So 3 out of 5, 1's gone, and probably the silver Camry that I got from him is probably going to be totaled out. So that's going to be 2, the silver Camry, the white Acura TL, and the blue Camry, which has been wrecked. And I'm having a hard time getting emissions to it because when I take it to get emissions, it says it has emissions already. And then I go to the state of Georgia and they say, you don't have emissions. So I just decided to park it for now and just to work on getting everything fixed as I roll into September, because September, the Acura that was left on the side of the road will be fixed. My BMW, I got to get a tag for it. I already got it worked on. I just had to put the starter in, then run it on the highway until it passes emissions. And so out of 32 cars, I'm going to have 30 that I can rent. Maybe 31 if I can get the Camry issue solved. So that's how we're rolling into September. I say I'm not going to buy any car, but I might buy 2 more in September just to make sure I have 32 cars for rent, because one of the reasons I'm scaling is I want to hit, 1,500 a day. And my current fleet, if I can get everything rented, and that's the thing, I got to work on utilization this month. I'm going to have to adjust some pricing and stuff. The Lexus is a hit. I had 6 people request that Lexus the second day it was on the site. 6. So I raised the price. I raised the price on that. And the Lexus is a great car for Uber or Lyft. It would be a really good car for Uber or Lyft. It's clean, it's spacious, it has a nice ride. It doesn't ride like the BMWs. I know this because when I was taking it to get the GPS kill switch, it's got a little sport mode. It's a little peppy, but it's not zippy. Like the little BMW 3 Series, they're zippy. They're like zoom. I mean, I had the blue one today and I punched it and I was like, boom. And also for lunch, I took the 550 to get my hot dogs, and man, that thing is a beast. It is comfortable. It is powerful. It will fly. I was doing like 105 and I was like, whoa. Let's crank it down. It's raining. Let's crank it down. We don't want to have an accident. And right now, my car is in the shop and I've been driving the Porsche. The Porsche is in the garage right now. So it's kind of nice to have cars that I can drive, that I want to drive, because the Porsche, it is not as fast as my BMW, but it's in the neighborhood. It's not on the same block. It's in the neighborhood, because my BMW 0 to 60 is like 3.3 seconds. And if I had tuned it, it would be like 2 point something seconds. So the BMW is it's like 0 to 60. For the Porsche, it's like 2.5. And so the BMW is just a little bit behind the Porsche, just a little bit. Because when you step on it, pushes you in the seat. You feel that acceleration. It's exhilarating. So that's in the shop, and that's it. I mean, I don't really have like the drama with Romy Rome and the poor selling. I think we're past that stage, and now I'm at the point where I have to fine tune my acceptance process. And like I said, I think the young folks got to go, because this segment has the most issues, and they have no conscience. They have no accountability. An Uber driver told me that there was some young chick that said he was drinking when he wasn't, so she can get a free Uber ride. I mean, it's horrible. It's really, really horrible what these young people will do. But that's it, man. That's it. Like I said, it's settling down. I'm getting ready to launch some more stuff. I'm getting ready to work on some more things. So, yeah, that's it. All right. Tomorrow, corporate papers. If you're not in, the price goes up tomorrow. You want to get in. I have some more goodies that I'm going to announce in September for everyone that's in the corporate papers. And if you want to be part of that, just go ahead and get in. The price, you don't get a discount for a payment plan. I don't do that because I'm not going to give you a discount and wait for you to pay me. I'm not doing that. So no, that would be a no. You're on the payment plan. There are no discounts for you. And once again, there's 5 weeks of work in there, and next week there will be 6 weeks, and the end of September it will be 10 weeks of coursework. I'm building this like a college curriculum to help you start your business, from starting a holding company, from starting an operating company, and then turning that operating company into a successful business. We're dealing with some stuff that you don't see on YouTube, because a lot of folks don't know how to do this. They don't know how to do marketplace research to figure out what customers want and to give customers what they want. Because when you give customers what they want, they be like, they've been making it rain. They've been making it rain. Like, there you go. There's some more money for you. There you go. You want some more money? Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. So that's going to be for the next 2 months that we're going to be talking about how to do marketplace research, how to do database research, the tools you can use. And like I said, this ain't going to be an overnight situation, man. I've been doing marketplace research for 4 months. 4 months. And I'm getting ready to run some more little experiments. Like the Lexus is an experiment. And man, the way they hopped on that, I'm like, okay. And those are kind of hard to find. The GS 350s and the GS 460s, and that's the V8 version of the GS, they're hard to find because it's kind of like the 550. The 550 is the most expensive 5 Series next under the M5. They're hard to find because a lot of people don't buy at the top. That's why you see all of these 528s and 328s, because that's the cheapest version of the BMW. And the Lexus, I've looked today, there are not a lot of them, because if this bad boy roll out the way I think it is, I'm going to buy some more, because it's a good car. It's a solid car. It's a car that, it's a Toyota. It's a Yoda. It's a Lexus, but it's a Yoda, So that's another experiment. And I'm going to be running experiments probably September, because I'm getting ready to run some pricing experiments now. And if you're in the corporate toolbox, I'm probably going to start the car rental course this month, because I didn't want to just start it. Because, the first thing is you got to get cars. And I'm going to talk about how you can get cars and all other stuff. So all that's going to be in the corporate papers. So go below, get the corporate papers. The promo code is August. It works. A lot of people used it today. It works. So just go ahead and jump in, and the price goes up tomorrow. So that's it for the Killswitch Chronicles. Like I said, it's not so much drama. It's just annoying. I'm like, this chick lost the key and she keeps calling me for this little refund. And I think it's like $198 that she ain't getting back. It ain't happening. It ain't happening because she still has possession of the car. See, I play within the guidelines. Like yesterday, when I sent the tow truck out there, if she had ponied up the key to the tow truck driver, I got the car back, tow truck driver said, hey, I'm back, I would have ended the rental then. But since she still has possession of the car, I'm not ending nothing. You get Nathan up in here, because I'm just sitting there like, so once again, and once my little spotty sense went off with her, because I was like, man, she's young. And once again, it was right, because it's a problem. So that's all I got for you guys. I will see you in the next one.